The bottom line is that's a fraction of the 300 or so thousand state and local government employees we have, the good professionals who work at the state and local level. And obviously that's a much smaller fraction of the 5.5 million people who live and work here in the state of Wisconsin.
I know there's a lot of people protesting. We've seen it for the last couple days, primarily public employee unions, teacher unions. But you know what? I think there was a lot of people on November 2nd that spoke loud and clear of what direction they want this state to head.
We don't have a lot of options here, folks. It's not like we're choosing to do this. We are broke.
Well, that was Governor Scott Walker and several other Republican lawmakers speaking about the massive protest at the state capitol as lawmakers consider the governor's budget repair proposal. And we are joined this morning by someone on the other side, Democratic Senator Jon Erpenbach.
We do want to know that Republican Representative Robin Vos was scheduled to also be with us this morning but canceled. All other Republican lawmakers that we reached out to declined to appear on our morning show. Now, this is a done deal. I mean, the Republicans are going to vote yes, Democrats no. What will be the repercussions?
Well, it is a done deal, but we don't know exactly what's going to pass yet. There's a chance we can make, when I say we, the Senate Democrats can make some changes. We're going to focus in on a couple of things, the Medicaid changes in the budget. We're also going to focus in on trying to change the binding or the contract negotiation language that's in there as well to try and soften it up a little bit to make it a little more palatable. All is designed, by the way, at least on the union side, to capture about $30 million to try and balance our previous budget. It's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but essentially you're blowing the entire ship out of the water in order to do this. The repercussions, if things are not changed, are pretty serious. I mean, you're taking away decades of tradition and law here in the state of Wisconsin where workers can sit down with the employers and try and negotiate salary, benefits, steps in salaries, merit pay, all sorts of things. So it's a big change. It was introduced, I'm going to jokingly say yesterday, and it's going to become law today. But we're about a time frame of about a week in dealing with some major changes that could have easily been put in his bigger budget that he's introducing on Tuesday, which would have given us at least a couple of months to try and debate this issue.
Was this really the only choice?
No. No, the governor is trying to frame the debate that, okay, we either do this or we cut 5,000 or 6,000, lay off 5,000 or 6,000 state employees. That's not true. We either do this or we throw thousands of kids off of the Badger Care programs. That's not true either. Again, it's $30 million in the grand scheme of our state budgeting. It's a lot of money to you and I, but it's not a lot of money. So no, it's not an either-or situation. There are other ways to go out and find this money to try and plug the hole, but no, it's not.
Is this part of it? Because we're seeing this around the nation. Ohio, among other states, doing the same thing. New Jersey. Chris Christie wants to do the same thing. Same blunt language.
Right.
Deal or that's it,
Right.
Is this part of the Republican plan in this country?
The playbook?
The playbook, yeah. There's a playbook.
Well, basically, what I'm seeing around the country, and I think Governor Walker actually is leading it right now, is they're trying to it's like a gamesmanship between the two of them. Who can go after unions more? Who can seem tougher in spending and so on? But again, you have to take a look at what we're doing here in the state of Wisconsin and the effect it's going to have on just the average working family. In Dane County, for example, we're talking about taking about $260 million out of our economy. Now, if you talk to a restaurant owner or a bar owner or a small shop owner on Main Street, $260 million taken out of this economy, just like that, is going to hit them pretty hard, too. But, yeah, you're seeing it all over the state. But I think, from what I understand so far, Wisconsin, essentially, with what the governor is proposing, is about the toughest.
He hasn't been in office a long time, and he's
about a month and a half.
done a whole lot. Let's get real. How much of this is really just deals?
As far as payback from campaigns? Yeah. Well, the union specifically, firefighters and protective services like State Patrol, police, but not Capitol Police, not University Police, which is interesting. They're exempt because he promised them during the campaign he wouldn't go after their pensions or their health care. A lot of it, I think a lot of this in the budget repair bill, which technically, by the way, we don't really need to do right now, but we're doing it. I think a lot of it's political payback. I mean, if you want to go after the fiscal stuff, that's one thing, but to insert the language to remove the collective bargaining rights that the unions have, is a totally different thing. There's absolutely no fiscal impact on that, so it shouldn't be in there. It doesn't create one single job because we're in special session to create jobs. So to me, it's really political and it's extremely harsh.
He's talked about, I want, 250,000 jobs in the first year. Businesses outside Wisconsin. He'd like to bring some business from Illinois and other places. What business in their right mind would come into an atmosphere like this? What teacher who may want to move to Wisconsin to teach would see this and say, are you kidding?
No, I can't imagine it's very appealing to anybody who wants to work in the private sector or the public sector. For the private sector businesses that are looking to come here, there's a couple of other changes we did with tort reform that sounded good for businesses, but if you're a manufacturer headquartered in Wisconsin, you're going to be first in line to be sued now because of a change that we made with that. So it's not setting up the best atmosphere. I mean, in Wisconsin, we're known for great schools. Our communities are wonderful, and that's part of the reason why businesses seek to relocate to other places. They take a look at the school environment. They take a look at the tax environment as well. But if we're basically systematically, I think, destroying public education here in the state of Wisconsin and public services here in the state of Wisconsin, I think businesses they'll think twice.
Are people's voices being heard by anybody?
Yeah, I actually think that the people who are showing up at the Capitol, and it's not just Madison. Some people are saying, oh, it's just Madison. Well, no, it's all over the state. We had thousands of people there yesterday. We had thousands of people the day before. I think today will probably set records as far as protest goes. I think it's making a difference. I know that there are some Senate Republicans who, if you take a look at their voting record, is very pro-labor. They supported contracts. They supported public workers. They're in a tough spot right now. Their governor has put the Senate Republicans in an extremely difficult situation. And again, I can't stress this enough. It's $30 million. That's what we're trying to capture out of this to balance the budget. This is so much more serious than just the $30 million. This is an assault, I think, on working families, and there's absolutely no reason in the world why that contract language needs to be in this budget.
We want to know, too, again, that we tried to reach out to Republican lawmakers and had some scheduled, and they canceled on us. But again, we wanted, if a lawmaker will come and talk to us about this, Republican or Democrat, we're going to talk.
Open invitation.
So,
All right.
Thank you, Senator.
Well, thanks for having me out. I appreciate it.
We'll be right back after this.